Hi friends, my name is Shivam and today we are going to discuss a common but very important interview question. So this problem is very simple but still asked in most of the tech companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Uber, etc. So basically why they are asking a very common problem again and again. So this is because most of the students does not exactly know how the solution is derived and they just came up the solution and just present it in front of the interviewer. And interviewer can easily guess. Believe me, interviewer can easily guess. Like, do you exactly know how the solution is derived, or you just cram up the solution? So this cramming up does not work in companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Uber, Adobe, etc. So you need to be very clear how the solution was derived, and then basically present the solution to the interviewer. So now, like, what problem we are discussing today? So basically we are discussing an array problem, which is like maximum sum contiguous subarray. So the question is, given an array, we need to find the subarray with maximum sum. So let us understand it. So we are given an array with elements -3, 1, -8, 12 and so on. So we need to find a subarray with maximum sum. So what is subarray? Basically, firstly we need to understand what is subarray. So a subarray can be like a single element or a group of adjacent elements. So -3 is a subarray, -3 comma 1 is a subarray, -3 -1 -1 8 is a subarray, and any element, like for example 12 is a subarray, 12 and -8 is a subarray, 12 8 0 is a subarray. So there are like multiple possibilities of subarrays. So this is a subarray, this and like if you want to start from 8, this is a subarray, this is a subarray, this is a subarray, and so on. So there are like a lot of subarrays and you need to find that particular subarray using which results into maximum sum. So before jumping to the question, to the solution, do you have any question in your mind, like any question you want to ask to the interviewer? Think of it, because let me tell you very frankly, never assume anything. So the what question I told you? I told you the question is, given an array, you need to find a subarray with maximum sum. I didn't tell you like what all can be present in the array. Like what is input set? Like, will it be positive numbers, or can it have negative numbers as well? So you need to make it clear. Like, you need to ask the interviewer what inputs I can expect. So this shows the interviewer like that you are actively participating. Like you are like you have solved the questions earlier as well. You know how to solve the questions. So in the very starting, you gain a like positive response. You get a positive impact. You make a positive impact in the interviewer's mind. So okay, fine. So now you have a question to ask. Like, for example, you can ask like does the array can the array contain negative numbers? For example, the interviewer says no, array cannot contain negative integers, it will all be positive numbers. So what should be the answer? Like, at the very first thought, it should be like you should be very clear. Like, if array does not contain any negative numbers, then what is the sub array which has maximum sum? The array itself. Because, like, for example, this is an array which does not contain any negative numbers. So if I'm asked, if this is the input, like what is a subarray with maximum sum? So obviously, when there are no negative numbers, then the entire array, so entire array is also subarray. So at any point, and the entire array will be the answer. So this is how you should proceed with solution. So don't assume, like obviously when the interview is asking, he wants you to have the negative numbers, but don't take this as an assumption, because it creates a negative impact, negative view of yours into your mind. So now we know that the array will contain negative numbers as well. So we need to find a solution which takes care of that. Now you know about the input set. What solution comes to your mind? So I have an advice for you here. So never jump directly to the optimized solution. You should always start with the basic naive solution, because if you have if you have a working solution, be it naive, you gain a confidence, and that confidence can help you solve and optimize the solution further. Because if you directly jump to the solution and you are not able to find the highly optimized solution, you lose confidence, and that lack of confidence can be easily seen by the interviewer, which you should never show. So this is my advice. Always start with the naive solution, solve the question, because having a solution is always far better than not able to solve it all. So take this in mind and always try to first solve the problem using naive solution. So not saying you to write the code for it. You can just think of the solution, naive solution, discuss it with the interviewer, tell that this is what you are thinking, tell him the algorithm, tell him the pseudocode, and obviously he'll not say ask you to write the code. He'll ask you if that solution can be further optimized, which you want, which you want to solve. So like now you know that you are able to solve the question, and then you are going a step ahead. You are going a step up to optimize solution. So at this moment you should be highly confident, and then that confidence can help you find the better solution. So this is my personal advice. I always do like this in the interview. So maybe you can do that same. Okay, so let's discuss the naive solution, the very first solution which comes to the mind. Okay, so as the problem says, we need to find the subarray with maximum sum. Okay, so we need to find a subarray. So what if we find all the subarrays, find the sum of all the subarrays and find the maximum out of it? This is the naive solution. Very simple solution. Find all the subarrays, find the sum, and then compare the sums and to find the maximum. So this seems simple, and yes, it is a solution. So now you have a solution. Let us discuss the pseudocode, and then we'll further optimize our solution. So how you can find the sum of all the subarrays? What you can do is you can find it easily using two loops. So what we can do is we can like run a loop from I equal to 0, I less than length, array length, I plus plus, and inside this we can have another loop like from this, and then we can iterate from 1. So we need to have j equals to 1, j less than array dot length, and j plus plus. So what we'll do inside this is, so we should have two variables, like one for the current subarray sum and one for the global max. So what we can do is we can just iterate, find each subarray, have that sum of that subarray, and then find the maximum. So that should be simple. So I'll not discuss the code of this naive solution. You can find that link of my blog, and there I've pasted the code. So let us now try to optimize a solution. Okay, so before moving to the optimized solution, let us discuss like what's the complexity of this naive solution. So since we are running two loops, it's quite clear that the complexity of this solution is O of n square. And the space complexity is like we'll just use two variables, the two constants for storing the current max and the global max. So the time complexity is O of 1. So now to find a more optimized solution, what we want to how we can find. So basically currently we were able to solve this problem in two loops. Now we want to solve it in single loop. So if we can solve this solution problem in a single loop, then we can find and that means we can find a solution in linear time. So that would be a more better solution. So okay, so take your time and think how you can solve it, because finding the subarrays in linear time, all the subarrays in linear time is not possible. So the question, so there should be something in the question itself which you can use, which like the property in the question which you can use to add to that, and which we can make it the solution in linear time. Okay, so take your time, pause the video for few minutes and think of a solution. I want you to take to think of a solution rather than just jumping ahead and listening to my solution. Yeah, okay, so let's derive the solution stepwise. So for example, if my array has just one element and this is my input, so what is the maximum subarray in this case? So it will be 3, because just my array has just one element, so that will be the output. What if my array has two elements, 3 minus 1? So what would be my solution? So the solution would be either this element or the sum of these two. So it will be like either 3 minus 1 or the sum of 3 minus 1, that is 2. So the maximum of these 3 will be my answer. So now what if my array has 3 elements? So looking at the above two examples of size 1 and 2, we can easily define a solution. So we can like at this point, like at this index, what is the sum of subarray, maximum sum of subarray? At this point, obviously, like there are no previous elements, so the maximum sum of subarray element is 3. So the answer is 3 because this is the first element. What about this index? So if I want to find, the maximum sum of subarray at this index, what it will be? So it will be the maximum of this element or the sum of this element with the maximum subarray of the previous element. So it will be either -1 or -1 plus 3, which is -1 or 2. So it will be 2. So how come I was able to derive this was like at any particular index, if I want to find the sum of maximum subarray, what it will be? So at any index, if I want to find at index 4, what is the sum of maximum subarray till that index? So either it will be that particular index, the element present at the fourth index, or the sum of that element with the maximum sum of subarray at a previous index. So this using this property we can solve a solution very well. Okay, now tell me what is the answer for this element if I want to find the maximum sum of subarray at this index. So it will be either 2 maximum of either 2 or 2 plus the maximum sum of subarray at previous element. So what was my maximum sum of subarray at this element? It was 2. So either 2 or 2 plus 2. What is the maximum? 4. So the answer of this is 4. So basically my complete array was that subarray which I was wanting to find. So let us see one more example of 4 elements, then it will be more clear to you. So my array has 3, -1, 2 and -2. Okay. So at this point, because there are no previous elements, the sum of maximum subarray is 3. At this index, what would be my sum of maximum subarray? So using the formula we derived, so it will be either -1 or basically maximum of -1 or -1 plus the sum of this element plus the maximum subarray of previous element. So what was the maximum subarray of previous element? 3. So it will be maximum of -1 plus 3. So it will be like -1 comma 2. So it will be 2. So now here it was 3, now it is 2. So what is the sum of maximum subarray at this element? So at this element it will be also you need to take. So here I want to tell you one more thing. So basically till now we were just tracking the current sum of maximum subarray. So we need to have another variable which keeps track of the global maximum of all the subarrays. So here I also take a global max to store that. So basically till here the maximum subarray was 3. Now at this index it is 2. So out of these 2 I have the 3 is so now till now the answer is 3. Now at this point, so answer will be like either 2 maximum of 2 or the sum of 2 plus the maximum subarray at this index. So at this index it was 2. So it will be 2 or 4. So the maximum is 4. So at this point the maximum is 4. Now similarly at this point either -2 or -2 plus 4. So it will be less than 4. So our basically the solution is 4 and the subarray is this -3, 1, 2, 5, -1. So this is how we come to a solution. Basically the solution in simple words is that if you know the maximum sum of subarray at a previous index, you can easily find the maximum subarray at next index. Like it is simple. Like either it will be that element or the sum of that element plus the previous max. So that's the solution. Now let's see how to solve our main array. So now let's solve our main array. So I've defined 3 variables: the index, the current max, and the global max. So basically, at every index I'll find the sum of current max and the global max. So at 0th index, the current subarray max and the global max will be same because This is just the one single array. So it will be minus 3 and minus 3. At index 1, so what will be the sum of subarray here? So it will be either maximum of either this element, that is 1, or the sum of this element plus the maximum of subarray of previous element. So it will be 1 plus minus 3. So it will be maximum of 1 or minus 2. So which is 1. So at index 1, my current max is 1 and my global x is 1, because previous to this the global max was minus 3, which is, and 1 is greater than minus 3, so my both current max and global max will be updated. Now at this index, what will my values will be? So at this index, either the maximum of either minus 8 comma the sum of minus 8 plus the previous, so which was 1. So either minus 8 or either minus 8 plus minus 7. Okay, so the current is minus 8 here, and the maximum will be, so if we just compare the global max and the current max, so it will be 1. The global max will not change because minus 8 is smaller than 1. Now at index 12, what will be my the maximum sum of subarray? So it will be either 12 or 12 plus the sum of previous subarray. So it was minus 8. So it will be sum of either 12 or 4. So it comes 12. So at index 3, the current max will be 12 and the global max will be 12, because 12 is greater than 1. So now we have 12. What about at this point? So at this index it will be maximum of 0 or 0 plus 12, which is 12. So it will be 12. Fourth. Now what about at this index? So at index 5, what will be my sum? It will be minus 3 or either minus 3 plus 12. Okay, so it will be minus 3 or 9. So my current is 9 and the global is 12. I will not update the global because obviously 9 is not greater than 12. So I come here, next 5. So what will be my maximum? It will be maximum of 5 or 5 plus the previous. Previous was 9. So it is 9. So 9 plus 5, 14 and 5. So now I have 14. So at index 6 I have 14. So which is greater than 12. So now my solution becomes 14. Again for minus 9, so it will be the maximum of either minus 9 or minus 9 plus 14. So it will be minus 9 or 5, which is 5. So my will be 5 and the global max will not change. Now again 4, for 4 we will have either 4 or 4 plus 5, 9. So it is 9 and the global max will not change, so 14. So my answer is 14. And which was that subarray? It was this. So this is how we can easily derive the solution. So I hope now you are able to understand like how we were able to decide, like how we were able to derive the solution. So if you know this logic very well, then you can impress any interview for any company. And if you can like form this kind of chart and then code after that, then like he'll be totally impressed, because just showing the solution is not enough. You need to very well understand like how the solution was derived and how you came up to the solution. So if you have any question or any doubt, you can feel free to post in the comments. And regarding the code, like what is the code? So I think this is pretty simple. I have already told you the pseudocode, the algorithm which you need to use, and the link for the code is present in my blog. I'll be sharing the link to my blog post in the description. You can have a look at it. And if you have any doubt or any comments, you can feel free to share it. So I have a like a kind of homework. So I have a habit of giving homework to all my students. So I have a homework for you. So using this approach, we were able to find the maximum sum of any subarray. So what if the interview he might be very well impressed with you. So and you have coded very well as well. So now to see how much you can stretch, like how good you are at, he might give you a bonus question. So if you can solve that, then it will be very good for you. So he might ask you to like print the array as well. So now along with the maximum sum, you need to find the array which will result in the maximum sum. So try this question, and if you are able to solve it, that would be great. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me here in the YouTube comments, on my blog post comments. I'll be more than happy to share. I seriously want you to give some time, take out some time and really work on this. And if you are able to find the solution of this problem, believe me, you are going on good tracks. So all the best for your next interview. Keep learning.